internet thing or accidentally clicked end stream. But oh well. Hopefully it doesn't disconnect and starts up a new stream. Just trying to get everything. I don't know why there's two streams that are showing. Live. Well, I'll delete this. I don't know why. I don't know why it's showing two. Hello, Ivy. That should be sorted now. Let me just copy the link and put it here. Say at stream at Shumatsu. I do want streamer mode to be enabled. Because I don't want to get a notification mid-stream or anything. Let me just close Discord and then I'll start working on editing. I've got like the panels already as well, so I'm gonna go straight into editing. It seems like the fight, I haven't caught up to the fight as much, especially the latest chapters, but it seems like the fight is getting close to finishing. We'll see how that goes. Go straight into it. And I'll try to do a photoshopping today. We'll see how long I stream for. I'm a bit bored now, so I thought I'd stream a little bit. I don't know why Discord is just not opening for me. There you go. Nice, it's working. We're back. Okay, fully edited now. I don't know when I'll release this because, as I say, the fight is still ongoing. Chapters are still releasing. I'm guessing like 2 months until it finishes. Maybe, hopefully, I get enough free time to edit it all before the fight finishes, so that I can kind of catch up and then release it a few weeks after the last chapter. We'll see if that works out or not. I'll do this for now and then maybe do the other cutting later. Thank you, Yusuf. Appreciate it. I'm reading. Well, I appreciate so many people. I was streamed yesterday and a lot of people showed up, and even today, some people are still showing up. I don't know why you guys stick around, especially how many times I disappear. But I do appreciate it. A lot, especially with me disappearing for months and not editing as much as I do before, now that I've like retired and just do what I do whenever I have time. So it's appreciated a lot. I've got like so many. The way that I'm editing now, when I'm free, I've got like mini projects that I pick up here and there. We'll see if I enjoy this fight. I don't know if I will or not. Because if depending on how this fight goes, I may drop Rocket of Ragnarok. I haven't enjoyed the series in a long time, bar from a few fights here and there. So we'll see. I think this will be the deciding factor if I drop it. But it also feels like it's, I don't know. It feels like something that I have to do because I this is where I started. It feels like I have to end the channel with Record of Ragnarok. This is the reason why I got like millions and millions and millions of views. Like, how can I just disappear? But I mean, I don't know. We'll see. It's still not over. It's still ongoing. It's got like what 20 chapters and it's still ongoing because they had like what 7 chapters or so of just backstory. So I don't think it'll end anytime soon. Or depending on how the next few chapters go. I'd assume right now there's not going to be any more backstories, and it's just going to be fully focused on fights. And if they do that without like any breaks in the background, then it could end in the next 2-3 chapters. But I mean, you never know. Stay to here. And who knows as well when I actually do release it, because I've got I'm like working on like 30 different videos at the same time. And I pick up a different video just depending on the mood. So if I feel like kind of fully quote unquote animating specific things, I work on like the short videos that I just focus on kind of moving things. Today I felt like editing Rocket of Ragnarok, so I just did that. Who knows what I feel like tomorrow if I do have time. My favorite fight, it changes. I don't like the fights as much as I did before. I don't know if it's because of like my enjoyment for the series as a whole has affected my view on all the fights in the series, or if I've just kind of grown out a lot of Record of Ragnarok itself. But like my rating of the favorite fights used to be higher than it is now. But I mean, it could just be affected by the way that I view the series now compared to how I did when it started. But it probably is Jack the Ripper fight. It's still my favorite, even though the rating for it has gone down a lot. But I mean, it's Jack the Ripper, so I think that will always be up there as one of the favorite fights, if not the favorite fight, even if my opinion on the series has changed drastically in the past, I'd say 2 years. Yeah, I mean, my quick retirement thing was more so of like treating it as a second job and going just fully hobby whenever I have time. So like now I have time, so I'm editing. I can't, and there's no promises of like I'm gonna do this series, I'm gonna do these fights. It's just gonna be if I'm a bit bored one day, and I feel like editing, I'll put up a stream and just edit for a few hours before I do something for the day. I mean, to be fair, Cloter. Yeah, I'm not going to say that. To be fair, Kay, I do like that fight, and I think a lot of people have it as one of the best fights. It's definitely my best fight in a long time, but it's mostly, like you say, Simo highest character rather than anything else. The fight itself was okay, a bit underwhelming, but the characters made up for the underwhelming fight itself. But yeah, depending on how this goes, I don't see myself enjoying this fight. I don't like Odin. He's a bit too edgy for me, and it's just not a huge fan. But too edgy and too much of a clown. But I don't know, we'll see how it goes, how it ends. But I won't be surprised if this ends up being my last Record of Ragnarok edit. I just have like zero interest right now compared to what I had before. Like comparing to when I started, when I was like editing, when I started Record of Ragnarok, I was doing like video a day because I was catching up. And when I caught up, I was doing like multiple different videos. I even did like reviews of fights, like 30-minute analysis videos, and like I was pumping out a shit ton of Record of Ragnarok videos because I enjoyed the series back then. But lately, I just do not enjoy it as much as I used to. So this might end up being like a warning of this may end up being the last fight that I edit for Record of Ragnarok. And kind of, unless like something interesting shows up out of nowhere with like great writing, then I'd edit. But I think this will be like the farewell to Record of Ragnarok, and then I'll just edit series that I like. I don't know what I'd edit, but there's a few kind of arcs that I like from different mangas, stuff that's not usual for the channel that has covered. So not like fight videos, so whether it's like sport series or kind of some kind of slice of life type series, it may end up being that. So it'll hugely tank the channel, but yeah, it may end up happening. I mean, Lubu versus Thor is probably bottom 3 worst fights in the series, but that's just because of what it is. It's just meant to set up the series rather than anything else. I'd say it's gotten worse personally. Before it used to be simple. Like the concept was okay, like it was a cool concept having kind of humans and gods fight, and the way that the writers used to write was good, where it came to like focusing a lot more on the character than the kind of choreography as much, and they've improved on the choreography and the fighting itself. But for me personally, I don't really care much about that stuff. The thing that hooked me in the series was the characters rather than anything else than the fighting themselves. Which was what kind of shone a lot in the first 4 fights, especially the first 4 fights, or I'd say the second, third, and fourth fight. First fight not as much because it's just meant to be setting up everything and setting the tone, but the kind of second fight showed that emotional and kind of great writing when it comes to the death of Adam. And that kind of what hooked me up into Record of Ragnarok. And then it was the same for Sasaki Kojiro, and then it was the same for Jack the Ripper. But since then, it felt like they were stuck in a formula and they tried to repeat everything every single time. Because from what I'm seeing, they have like a, I wouldn't say arc, but like they have like a thing where they always try to hit the same marks with each fight. So Lubu versus Thor was like a kind of a useless head-to-head fight type thing. Adam versus Zeus was like a kind of more emotional feel to it. Sasaki versus Poseidon was a more kind of swordy type fight. And then Jack versus Heracles was more of a brainy fight. And then we see these fights being recreated with different approaches, but clearly trying to recapture the magic every single time, while also kind of writing too much. Like the stuff that's happening with the primordial gods, I really could not care like at all. Like I get bored reading that. It's just like I did not come for all this lore and primordial gods and all this other shit that's happening in the background, and I just came for the characters who fight. And the characters who fight since the fourth fight have been hit or miss. For me personally. Have you read or watched the I have not read. I'm not a big fighting series type guy. I don't usually watch fight series. Like my main kind of anime that I watch and manga that I read, I've read a fair bit of shonen, but the stuff that I enjoy is I'm mostly a sports genre type of guy. So I read a lot of like Haikyuu, Diamond Ace, Kuroko no Basket, and a few others that I can't remember the name of right now. But these are the ones that come to mind. Oh, and Aoashi. Aoashi, I don't know how to say the name of that. But yeah, so I'm mostly a sports manga type of person rather than a fight genre. I don't usually enjoy the fight series. I think my favorite is probably Hajime no Ippo, but even that fell down a bit towards the 900th chapter or so. But it's less because of the fights and more again because of the characters. Go through the thing. Have you read do you need a reason? Yeah, that's still a pretty good panel. A controversial opinion to say Kenshin has the best story. I'm trying to think of best backstories. I don't care much about backstories since the fourth fight. A lot of the backstories have been way too long. It's funny because I think the fifth fight had one of the longest backstories with Shiva, and it was a fucking boring backstory too. But I'd say between Hades and maybe Sasaki Kojiro, but Sasaki, I enjoyed the character, so I don't know if that's because I enjoyed the character or if I actually thought the backstory was good. Jack the Ripper had a good backstory, but those are the backstories that come to mind when I think of like backstories. The rest of the backstories that happen, maybe it's just me. I'm being too much of a hater on the series, but I just do not enjoy a lot of the backstories that happen in the series because they go on for like, I don't know, say 100 to 200 pages, going over stuff that don't really need to. It just seems like they're writing more than needed just to hit the word count rather than writing a meaningful story that kind of hits the points that the backstory is meant to deliver. But I think that seems like the flaw with Ragnarok lately, where they just try too hard to write rather than stick to the formula. I haven't read much seinen, but I don't really put much thought into seinen and shonen because I know on the internet a lot of people obsess a lot on seinen and shonen, but honestly, who cares? There's a lot of seinen that read like shonen, and a lot of shonen that are a bit more mature than normal shonen. At the end of the day, it's just a magazine that they're in. Doesn't really mean anything. So I try. I think I read more shonen than seinen, obviously because of the sports. Every sports or majority of sports series is shonen, except a few seinen here and there. One Hades are both in the top 5 characters, even though the fight is kind of a lackluster. Yeah, I mean, Kenshin Wang for me was just because he was a cool character. Mostly because of the way he talked and the way he represented himself as a king, as an emperor. As the main reason I liked Kenshin Wang. I wish they stuck more to the historical Kenshin Wang, but I mean, the series never really sticks to historical accuracy, so it is what it is. It was the same for me with Buddha. I wished they stuck more to a more accurate representation of Buddha, even if it would be a bit more. A lot of people think it's boring, but I'm not a huge fan of the Buddha that we have. But I know a lot of people like Buddha as he is. But still, I mean, Kenshin Wang was still a cool character, despite the deviation from the history. By the time I finished Hajime no Ippo, I had run every day for a month. Hajime no Ippo was a fun series. I heard it picked up again since I dropped it. Like it got interesting again, but I don't know. I just don't have the time to invest myself because I'll have to reread, and there's just way too many chapters to read, and I just do not have the time to invest into a series that's like 1,000 chapters long to read anymore. I don't really read much manga anymore to begin with. The latest that I have been reading was Diamond No Ace Act 2 because the anime has been disappointing, which I haven't read in a long time. I think the last chapter I read was like a month ago. I also want to read Ichi the Witch. I'm like at chapter 30 something or 40 something. I can't remember the exact chapter that I'm on. But I'm a bit behind on that one and I want to catch up on it. And I've still got series that I have kind of put on hold for like a year now. Sakamoto Days I haven't touched in a long time. Yeah, it's just a shame really. I really wish the Tesla and Beelzebub had longer backstories. I get that they could a bit winded, but I really wanted one, especially if Tesla's. I understand that kind of notion, but for me, rather than it being longer, I wish it was longer and only if it stayed historically accurate and not like too long-winded and not just like fluff backstory. I'm glad they're kind of going back slow. Well, I say they're going back to short backstories, but as soon as like this fight has a ridiculously long backstory. I think it might be the longest backstory, but it's because the primordial gods are like a big part of the series now, which is a shame because I really could not care one bit about the primordial gods. Hi Dante, yeah, I've been good, thanks. How are you? I think it's hilarious. I took one of the most violent warmongers in history and made him a selfless, kind king. Yeah, I don't know. Some stuff I enjoyed, the changes. Some stuff I hated, the changes that they've made. So, it is what it is. I think it comes around when they try to be too creative with characters. And the writer's kind of obsession with making every single character buff and muscular, and it's just it deviated a little bit with a few, but the deviation has been very annoying. Like I hate Nostradamus' character design and the way that he speaks. It's just such a huge disappointment. Every time he's on screen, I just like blech. Same with Anubis as well. Anubis is like such a cool god when you look through the history and everything, but the way they wrote him in the series is just like what? Why? but it just comes around when they with the way that they do things. I don't know much about kind of Sakamoto. Maybe he's the same, but yeah. Hajime after the match. I dropped Hajime after the match between Miyata and Ippo. The fight was good. Don't get me wrong, but I didn't. I don't. I don't know if I watched that. I think I dropped. I don't remember much of Hajime no Ippo because it's been like 2 months or so since I read it. Because I dropped it a few chapters after he retired. I know he comes back to boxing. Obviously, it's his series. But that was around the time when I dropped the series. I can't remember the fights that happened before or after. I don't know if I even remember reading that. um, I know Ashino Joe. I preferred. I've never read that. Yeah, I don't know what they were trying to do with Buddha's fight. Both like he basically had two fights, and both fights were shit, which is disappointing. Um, and I've tried rewatching. Obviously, I've rewatched. I rewatch a lot of my edits, so I've tried rewatching that fight. I think I've watched it 3 times, and I just could not bring myself to like it as much as other people have. But I know my opinion on Buddha is fairly controversial because a lot of people didn't like my thought process behind why I didn't like him as a character. But I mean, it is what it is. Um, so for changing the topic, but is Sasuke your favorite character? No, I don't like Hisoka as much. Favorite character in Hunter x Hunter is probably that's difficult to choose to be honest. It might be Kurapika right now, but it's because Kurapika is such a huge focus, and Kurapika has such a tragic backstory, and is such a interesting character, and the way that this arc can go, if it finishes, can be such a huge point. Leorio is also a great character. For me personally, I like Leorio more than a lot of the cast, but he's like the more human character out of all of them, and the more relatable character out of all of them. But I put like other characters like Crollo, Gon, Killua above Hisoka personally. Although I do enjoy Hisoka's character and the way that he's written and the way that he kind of looks at and the way he's like developed over the past, especially in the latest arcs since his fight against Crollo. But I mean, to be honest, Hunter's just got a huge cast, a huge great cast as well. So it's hard. There's also Meruem. There's the new cast, Zelenish. I don't know if I'm saying his name right. And what's his name? The other king, Hack something. I forgot his name. It's been such a long time. Hakuryu, is that his king? Maybe is that his name? But there's a lot of not king, sorry, prince. There's a lot of interesting characters right now. Even yeah, but yeah, even Nethero's uh, son Beyond is an interesting character. I mean, that's why I love Hunter x Hunter so much. I obsess over characters when I read a series. If the characters aren't great, despite everything else being great, I end up dropping it and not caring as much. Hey Gecko, it's been a while. Hello, free priest of the mail. Appreciate it. Feels like watching an actual anime when you finish. I hope you cover the whole Record Everything story. I'll always be supporting. Appreciate the support. Much love. Um, I hate to break it, but I think I won't be doing more Record of Ragnarok fights after this. But I do appreciate the support. I know I say this a lot every time I come back, but I'm shocked by the amount of people that always show up and kind of interact in the streams. With how inconsistent I have been and how much I disappear. Even like videos, people still show up, and the rare occasion of video here and there gets like 100,000 views or 10,000 views or 50,000 views, which always shocks me because I don't think I deserve it because of the amount of times I've disappeared on you guys. But it's much love. It's much appreciated. What's your favorite Hunter fight? Mine is Zuko versus Kurolo, and it doesn't really come close. Yeah, that's my favorite fight as well. But Hunter doesn't really have many. Like for me, it'll either be that or Meruem versus Netero. Gon versus what's her name? I forgot the cat's name. Shit, Pito is up there, but less so because of the fact that they don't really fight, and more so because of the emotional weight behind the fight and what it meant for Gon and everything and the story. Is why it's like I like it more than anything else. But yeah, Zontonta is a bit of an odd one compared to like other fights. It's harder to kind of rate its fights like an other shonen. You can rate its fights, yeah. But I mean that's why it makes it good for me personally. So good for it. Elvipa Sabaton song in there somewhere. How do you avoid getting copyrighted for music? I get claimed all the time. I don't make money for my videos. So like if I open my dashboard, and if I look at analytics, look at say all time, I make nothing. I think these numbers would probably make with the videos that I make, the pound for 1,000 views is probably higher because of how long they are. So if it were being monetized, it probably would be, I don't know why I did the millions, probably I'd say around the 2. So this channel would have made 32.8, like 33,000. That's just this channel alone. I think overall it would be around 75k if I was monetized, or if I tried to not be monetized. But I don't really care much. Like it probably is closer to 100,000 if I was monetized, and because I've had many people approach me for sponsorships to put in fight videos as well, whether it's like clothing or just like anime brand type sites. But I just never cared much to monetize it. This is hobby first. And it feels a bit weird to monetize something like this. So yeah. In my opinion, Gon versus Genthru is an extremely underrated fight. I feel it doesn't get even the respect it deserves solely because Genthru is kind of a boring character. Yeah, that was a good fight. I mean, that was like the only fight in that arc, basically. Yeah, that was a good fight. I do need to rewatch Hunter x Hunter, but I also want to rewatch a lot of like movies, like animated movies. So there's a lot of animated movies that I haven't watched. I've watched a few, but there's a lot that I feel like I'm missing out on and not watching. So I'll rather kind of spend my time watching these because they're a bit easy to digest than if I were to watch like a 300 episode series where I just don't have the time to catch up to it. Where I have like, I don't know, say an hour a day to watch something. I don't want to. It'll take a ridiculous amount of time to actually watch a series. But yeah, appreciate it, Ivy. Much love. Appreciate that a lot. It does mean a lot. And I do want to pay back the support that you guys have shown in a way. And the only way, obviously, I can is videos. So I do want to make like a really, really big video that hopefully you guys can enjoy. But I'll have to think about it. I do want to make a thank you video for the Record of Ragnarok fans because I've had so much fun editing this series and so much fun just in general editing. I don't know if I definitely wouldn't be where I am now. I wouldn't have gotten the numbers that I've gotten if it wasn't for Record of Ragnarok. And obviously you guys always showing up because every time I drop a Record of Ragnarok fight, I always see the same people in the comment section and it always brightens up my day. The most fun that I have when I drop a video is when I drop a Record of Ragnarok video, and that's why I always premiere it because so many people show up that I remember from 5, 6, 7 years ago. It's a great feeling. I have a hot take that gets me a lot of hate. I prefer the 19 over the 2011. I say just as well, but I also compare the correct that's the 19. I've heard some people like the way that the 1999 adaptation was done. I've never watched the 1999 adaptation. But personally, I'm not as big into like anime and kind of manga as I used to. So I don't think I'll ever rewatch it. Or I don't think I'll ever watch it, not rewatch it, sorry. To compare. But I've heard some good things. I've seen like some kind of screenshots here and there, and the coloring looks good. But I think it's just the way that some of the coloring and the composition in older anime used to look a bit different and not as samey as a lot of the recent anime. But I mean, there's been a lot of deviation lately. A lot of anime lately have tried to stand out a little bit compared to just being the same look again and again. So who knows? I've heard people say good things about the Fullmetal Alchemist original adaptation compared to the Brotherhood adaptation as well, and I don't know if I will ever watch that, but apparently that's good as well. I've never watched the original. A lot of people say if you love Fullmetal Alchemist, you should watch the original because the way that the original adaptation rewrote around the limitations of being caught up to the manga was good, but I don't know. Never watched. Because through the Yokneo and it's so good. There are also a couple of Greed Island OVAs, but they suck. See. Yeah, there's a few anime. I want to watch. I had the same issue with Detective Conan. Detective Conan is like my childhood show. Like I'll always go back to read and watch Detective Conan, even if it turns into shit. I used to watch it when I was a kid, so it's like I have a huge attachment to the show. Um, and when I rewatch the original way that it was drawn compared to how it's done now, it's a shame sometimes. Obviously, a lot of things are great now. The movies look amazing. I need to catch up to the latest movies. The movies look amazing. Some of the old movies still look great, but the movies, especially lately, with the amount of money that they make, they always like bring up the production. There's some great director. I forgot his name. I forgot the name of the director that's working on the latest movie. I even forgot the number of the movie because there's so many movies in Detective Conan. But he's a really, really good director. And I was really shocked when they got him to do the Detective Conan movie. And I'm really, really, really looking forward to watching that with him as a director. Because I'll always watch Detective Conan movies. So I'm looking forward to that movie. I think that will be one of the best movies production wise, and I'm hoping, and I think from memories they have a good writer on it as well. So that might end up being one of my favorite movies. Someone else caught up to the manga and its original plot, really good. Plus benefits greatly, and it's just objectively about the character due to being around way more. I heard it. Yeah. I heard good things about it. We'll see if I end up actually watching. But for me personally, right now, I'm just in the mood to watch movies. Because right now I'm obviously, like I say, I haven't watched that anime in a long time. And the latest anime that I watched was, you know what? I can just check my anime list. Was May when I finished Diamond Ace Act 2. So it's been a month since I watched. And before Diamond Ace, what did I watch? Oh, I can't go longer than that. I think before Diamond Ace it was the One Punch Man anime, but that was more so watching with friends and laughing at how bad it was rather than enjoying an anime. Lately I've been watching, like, I've rewatched Person of Interest, which is a really good TV show. I want to watch Dexter. I've watched like the first 2 episodes and I never ended up finishing it. I want to watch. I've been watching Young Sheldon, so I'm trying to finish that. I've got like other TV shows that have been recommended to me by a friend, which are kind of my type of lane, where because I love police procedural shows. So there's one that's like an FBI criminal psychology. I forgot its name now. That I really, really want to watch. I think I can't remember its name now. And there's another one where it's I think it's called True Detective. I think maybe I forget its name now. But yeah, there's a lot of shows that I have on my to watch list, unfortunately, and movies. There's a lot of movies that I want to watch. I want to watch Godfather. I want to watch Sopranos. I want to watch all these movies. So I don't watch anime as much anymore, unfortunately. Or maybe fortunately. So I know you don't really care much about Powers Canon, but I'm curious, how strong do you think Hermes is? I have him pretty high simply because of the knowledge and ability to comprehend the fights. He probably is high up. That's why I always thought, because in one of the mythologies, Hermes and Anubis are the same people. I think they're called like Hermanubis or something like that. I always thought when Anubis shows up, it'll be like Hermes who fights. Like it'll be Anubis under a mask, and Hermes will not show up, and then all of a sudden, the mask is like thrown out, and it's Hermes under a mask because he can catch up to a lot of the speeds and everything. But like I said, I don't really care much about power scaling, so I never really thought about it much more other than that. Sorry. I think I'll just cut it in here. You're getting TV shows. I highly recommend The Walking Dead. The first 6 seasons of The Walking Dead are just fantastic. The first episode of season 4 is one of the best. I've heard good things about The Walking Dead, and This was a long, long, long time ago. Like I think 4 years ago or so, 4 or 5 years ago. I pulled up. I don't know if it was Netflix or whatever. Pulled up the first episode, and I kid you not, I slept halfway through. That was one of the first times that I slept during a TV show, and I didn't touch it since then. So I don't know if I'll rewatch, but I've heard really, really good things about The Walking Dead. And its peaks was one of the most popular TV shows ever made. But I also heard bad things about the ending of The Walking Dead. So we'll know. Who knows? I don't mind that, to be honest. I don't mind characters getting killed off or written off or axed or whatever if it's done in an appropriate way. Game of Thrones I used to love a lot because of the way that characters, great characters that I loved, how they were written off and how it impacted the story, how it impacted the characters around them, and how it kind of portrayed the scene that the characters are living in and the world they live in. So I don't mind characters dying as long as they die in a proper way and they don't kind of extend their stay. Because for me, I wished that Game of Thrones either never killed Jon Snow or just changed the way that they killed Jon Snow. Spoilers for people who, I mean, it's been like 10 years now, so a lot of people should know that Jon Snow dies and comes back, but sorry if it's a spoiler. I don't like how they approach that at all. That was around the time that I dropped Game of Thrones. Thank you, Goro, appreciate it. I think season 6, end of season 6 or so is when I dropped Game of Thrones, and I think beginning of season 6 is when Jon Snow comes back. And if I'm remembering correctly, end of season 6 was when Daenerys was stranded off in a desert, not desert, but like in a wild somewhere, and surrounded by like a tribe. If I remember correctly, that's where season 6 ended, but that's when I really like dropped. I saw the drop in quality. The first 4 seasons of Game of Thrones were like so good, so good. And I want to read the book as well, but I've got like Dune to read because I've got the book of Dune. I've got Sherlock Holmes book, like 1,000 pages that I want to finish. I've read like basically the first book of Sherlock Holmes, but that was like a while back, so I need to reread Sherlock Holmes. And yeah, I've got way too many things on my read list and my watch list. It's so annoying that there's just not much time in the day. I've like with, especially now, when I was like when I had like the time of the day when I was in like university and college and everything, I used to watch and read so much, so much compared to now. But now it's just, there's just no time. Obviously I got my own place, so I have to cook and every now and then go see my family, catch up with friends, and obviously play games when I need to. And obviously holidays and work and everything, it's just took so much time now. Is what it is. Gotta value the little time that's here rather than miss the time that's gone and make the most of it. I say that every time, but every now and then I end up having a day where I end up doing nothing, and then I look back and say, well, fuck, that's just a few hours wasted that I could have been productive doing something else. I think I got the only control. But before season 7, episode 1, the series was TV-14 rated with occasional TVMA episode. However, the entire series was retroactively changed to TVMA due to the episode. Oh, I see. I think I've seen clips of that episode, not the full context or kind of how it ended, but I think I have an idea of the scene that you're talking about. But then when I said the deaths in the episode were gruesome, I mean it. They're beaten to yeah. I know, yeah, I know the episode that you're talking about. That scene is all over the internet, all over Twitter at times, here and there, whenever people make memes. Good. Ooh, there's a few things missed here. Is it this or no? It's this. That should be enough. Oh, these panels are so annoying. It reminds me of the Hunter x Hunter panels in Hisoka vs. Crowler. That had like one of the most annoying panels to edit. These will have to go, unfortunately. They just look weird if I keep them in this panel or the older panel. But is what it is. Whoops. Wow. I wonder if they did it just for kind of shock value or if it served the purpose. Maybe I'll watch. I've got so many to watch. And one of the things that I'm glad, because I postponed, Breaking Bad so long. Because I always get scared whenever so many people hype a show and talk about how great it is. I always tend to avoid it a bit more than other shows because I always get scared that it just won't be as good because of I don't know, 100 million reasons. But I did not regret watching Breaking Bad at all. That was a great show. So maybe I'll watch Breaking Bad soon. But I mean, I've got a lot of shows that I need to watch soon. I think I messed up here. It's hard to see with so many lines. But I've been watching more movies lately. I've shocked myself lately, especially in 2025/early 2026. I think I watched like 20 movies in total or so. I mean, to be fair, a lot of them were rewatches of like, I rewatched the Harry Potter movies because I just felt like it. Yeah. So a lot of them aren't really like watching new movies. But I watched a few movies here and there that were fun. I watched, I watched even more than that. I think I watched like 40 movies. I just remembered I watched the Marvel movies because I went into a phase of like wanting to rewatch a lot of movies that I grew up watching. So I watched like The Mask. I can't remember what else I watched, but then I got to like watching Spider-Man. So I watched the original Spider-Man trilogy. Still my favorite trilogy, despite how shit this third movie was. and how okay the first movie was. And then I watched The Amazing Spider-Man, which had an okay first movie, and okay, really only carried by the actor, because Andrew Garfield is a phenomenal actor. And it probably, for me, had the best romance in all of the Spider-Man series, despite its tragic end. And then I wanted to watch the Home trilogy with whatever the fuck that character's name is. Tom Holland? Not Tom Holland. Is that? Oh, I forgot his name. But I wanted to watch that. And I looked when he gets introduced, and it was like in a Marvel movie. I think it was Civil War. Yeah, Civil War was when he gets introduced. I was like, well, I'm not gonna watch Civil War because Civil War has so many characters that are built up in like 3 different Avengers movies. And if I want to watch the first Avengers movie, I kind of have to watch a lot of the other movies that introduce these characters. So then I was like, well, fuck it, I'll watch the movies. And there were some good movies in there, to be honest. Like if I go Marvel movies in order, release, because that's the only way to watch it. For me personally, it seems like this is the best way to watch it. Whatever the content is, the zombies eventually become a non-threat, with humans being the real threat. I feel like that's how a real zombie. Yeah, a lot of zombie movies end up being so boring because the zombies themselves aren't exactly a threat when it comes to like the way that you can deal with them. They can only last so much, and I hate a lot of the zombie movies and TV shows that portray zombies because they make them last way longer than they actually would in reality. But I said that a joke, but if you think about it, Voldemort's plan of killing all Muggles would end very quickly when he gets to America, where we all have guns. I think it wouldn't work as well. So yeah, Marvel movies, Iron Man, great movie. Incredible Hulk, dog shit. Iron Man 2, Thor, dog shit. The first Avengers, good movie. I like this movie, but I like Captain America more than the movie, because the movie felt a bit rushed. There was so much being covered, but I liked Captain America, and I liked, what's her name? So Steve Rogers and the girl, fuck, what's her name? She's one of my favorite characters in all Marvel. What's her name? Captain America, First Avengers. Peggy Carter. I love Peggy Carter. I even watched a TV show around her. I forgot what its name is, but I love Peggy Carter. So that was a really, really good watch. But it's mostly because of the characters rather than anything else. The Avengers was a good movie. There was a good Avengers, good first Avengers. So I love the Avengers. Iron Man 3 was Thor: Dark World was I think that was dog shit from memories as well. Winter Soldier, great movie. Guardians of the Galaxy, one of the best movies. I mean, the Guardians of the Galaxy trilogy is the best trilogy in all of the Avengers. It just feels so different compared to every other Avengers movie. So I loved Guardians of the Galaxy. Age of Ultron, I liked it. I liked Ultron, but seems like a lot of missed chances in there. But I liked it. I've never watched Star Wars now. There's a lot of older movies, and I'm not much been like Star Wars and Star Trek have never interested me. Apparently I would like it because I like doing a lot, but it never interested me. Ant-Man, dog shit. Civil War, probably the best movie in the whole Marvel thing. I just loved, and I still sometimes go back and forth between Steve Rogers and Iron Man. Of like whose side I would go with. They both had good points, and I guess technically Captain America was right, and Iron Man himself broke the law, but also Iron Man clearly, nothing would change from the looks of it. So, but I like it. I like the conflict that happened here. Doctor Strange, I love the character himself and the actor. So I love Doctor Strange. Same, loved Guardians of the Galaxy. Spider-Man: Homecoming was a good first movie, to be honest. It was a good introduction. I loved this character's Tom Holland's interpretation of Spider-Man. His acting was mediocre to say the least, but it was still good. It was a decent Spider-Man, and it stayed in where it should be in New York. He's the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, so I like that it stayed in Manhattan and just did its thing. Um, Thor Ragnarok was a good movie, probably the best out of all the Thors. Black Panther, I never watched. I skipped that movie. I'd never really cared about Wakanda or T'Challa or just that, so I never watched it. Because Infinity Wars was there, I was like, I don't really care much, so I didn't watch this one. Infinity Wars, amazing movie. Ant-Man and the Wasp, dog shit movie. Captain Marvel, dog shit movie. Endgame, amazing movie. Far From Home, far from good. It was a movie, like huge fall off compared to the first movie, and so fucking dragged out. It felt longer than 2 hours and 10 minutes. It felt like it was 3-4 hours. This was 3 hours and it did not feel like 3 hours. This was 2 hours and it felt way longer than it needed to be. Black Widow, never watched. Eternals, never watched. Never watched. No Way Home, I watched. I liked it more because of the fan service than anything else. The writing is dog shit in that one, but the fan service was great. I loved watching all the characters back that I loved from the original trilogies, and that's when I stopped. I watched No Way Home and I stopped watching Marvel because I only watched it for Spider-Man anyway. Do you like stores? Yeah. I don't. I think I answered that, but in case I didn't, yeah, I'm not a huge fan of Star Wars. Oh, I did not mess up in this one. I messed up by thinking that I messed up. I wish there was something like kind of my anime list for movies and TV shows. It's so hard for me to keep track of like the stuff that I need to watch. There's so many things I want to watch, so many things, and it's harder for me to kind of think out my thoughts because one of my friends is I think he's probably a bigger nerd than me when it comes to like TV shows and movies. So I end up having a lot of discussions with him whenever we watch a similar show. So I end up going like just full convos about the stories and the characters and all of that stuff. But I get a chance to kind of nerd out about TV shows, but I don't have many friends that nerd out as much as I do when it comes to like TV shows and characters and story writing and all that stuff. So I wish there was like a site like that where I can just kind of write my thoughts and like just mull over them. Mm-hmm. But I think the next show that I'll watch may be what's his name? Fuck. I need to find out his name. It's actually killing me now. FBI show about psychology. Great movie director. Netflix. That's the things that I remember about. Mindhunter. I want to watch Mindhunter. I've watched, I think, the first episode or maybe even the second. And holy shit, that was like a movie. I really want to watch Mindhunter because the director himself is a movie director, so and the character acting is phenomenal. So I really want to watch that. But there's also like, I think it's called True Detectives. Is it True Detectives? It is True Detective. I want to watch this. I watched the first episode on this as well, and holy shit, I was mind blown. But I probably only watched the first season. I've heard really bad things about the later seasons. Those are like the two TV shows that I want to watch next. and then who knows what I'll watch after. There's a shit ton of TV shows. There's also what's it called? I think Succession, maybe. Yeah, Succession. I want to watch this. I've heard good things about Succession as well, so I want to watch Succession as well. I think this will have to go into as one panel. What the fuck? This is annoying to cut. Let's do the rough highlight and then fix now. Because one of the things that I've always wanted to do, and I did it a little bit, was reviews and kind of analysis type videos, and I did really well. It's just a shame I just don't have the time to cover it as much as I used to. So if I search MIS, or maybe it's here in my house, more maybe? It's not. If I search MIS, will I find it? If I search MIS record of Ragnarok. MISD. These are all videos about my fight videos rather than the one that I'm looking for, the channel that I'm looking for. Where is the channel? Where is the channel? Where is the channel? Jesus Christ, where's the channel? Right, let's look through in here then. Links. It's not here. Where the fuck is it? What if I do, not cock in a basket, shit, what's it called? Let me do analysis video. Bro, I can't find the channel anymore. Because I haven't touched the video on that in a long time. Oh, is that my subscribers? Have I subscribed to it before? There it is. There we go. Fucking hell, finally. So I did like a lot of reviews, and especially my Record of Ragnarok videos got a shit ton of views. Like 75, 70,000, 90,000, 12,000. I wish I could do that again, but it is what it is. So I tried to do that with Attack on Titan, with Bleach. I just don't have the time because it takes so much time to kind of script these type of videos. Because I have to like read whatever series that I'm reading, and well, the way that I do it anyway, I read an arc on its own. If it's a new series, I read an arc on its own without making notes. Sometimes making notes in the background after each chapter of like what I thought, like the things that stuck with me, what I loved about the chapter, what I love about the arc, so on and so forth. And then I do a reread, just making sure that I have notes and I didn't miss anything and get any kind of panels that represent what I'm talking about. This. But yeah, I want to make analysis videos again. But yeah, it's a long process. Way too long. But I also want to like write again, because I have this like really detailed story that I came up with. And the way that I wrote it and the premise that I set up could last like 6 books to write. And I have like the main character set up. I've written like majority of his character traits and how I want the first book to go, and pretty much how I want every book to go, or like how I want the story to progress from start to end, and how I want the character arc to end. Um, but it takes so much time to write, so much time. And I don't want to just jump on and write the story first thing. One thing that I was doing to kind of practice my writing and get better at writing. It's been a long time since I wrote anything. I used to do a lot of like poetry and stuff like that, but it's been a really, really, really long time since I wrote stuff like that. So oops. Should not be excluded. So I tried to improve my writing by essentially watching a TV show and turning the TV show into a book by just watching and detailing and writing what the scene looks like and just getting better at that prose and stuff like that, which I thought was really, really good practice. But holy shit, it took so much time, and I just do not have the time. I want to go back to it and do that, but like for me, the show that I was watching was Person of Interest because I love that show. It's probably my most favorite show, 10 out of 10 show. So I was like watching an episode, and in the background while I was watching, I just write up what's happening and try to be as detailed as possible with as much kind of, whilst also not being too detailed, because it's a really thin line when it comes to writing of like how to describe the scene in a way that paints the picture but also doesn't fucking bore people's brain out. So I was getting into the rhythm of that of getting better at these type of expositions, but then I got busy. I think around that time I started to do overtime, and then I just never had the time to edit again. And then lately I've been playing Record of Ragnarok. Not Record of Ragnarok, sorry. I don't know why I just said Record of Ragnarok. It's someone made. I've been playing Rise of Kingdoms, which is like a mobile game that just needs a ridiculous amount of investment time-wise to kind of in wars and stuff. So we had like a event in the game where you just fight kingdom versus kingdom, and that was a lot of time that I spent in there in that game, that I had to spend in that game to kind of fight and enjoy. So that now takes a lot of time in my day as well. Hello Optica. Is the channel monetized or are you just doing this for the game? And because of the rampant copyright issues that's going on. It's not monetized. I just do it because I like editing these type of videos. I personally don't think these type of videos should be monetized to begin with. I try my best to, because I try my best to like push people to read the original content as much as possible. Because for me personally, the original format will always be the best format to read the series in, and obviously it helps the creator. I'll keep these because I think this is part of the panel. Some of it anyway. This. This is not, so this needs to be chopped out. Boom. And thankfully there's a box, which I'll just focus on that for now. Boom. Now this is included, but I mean it's very little, but is what it is. Included. Boom. How long have I streaming for now? An hour and 15 minutes. I think I'll stop in a bit. When I reach 41, I'll stop. So probably 50. Who knows how many, to be honest. Maybe I'll stop earlier because that could actually take a long time. I need to sort some things in the house. I'll probably finish in 10 minutes. I don't know if I'll stream again anytime soon, but I'll see. Today was fun. Especially up to a lot of people who I haven't seen in a long time. So maybe I'll stream again sometime in the future, but I'm back to work tomorrow. And I got a lot of things on my plate right now with like, so many clients, so I don't think I will be streaming anytime soon, but we'll see. Thank you, appreciate it. You know what? I'll include this. This feels like it should be included with wrong one. Jesus fucking Christ. I think this will be the good time position to cut. And this needs to be included. I shouldn't have excluded that. But how much? I think this should be good enough. I think this should be included as well, to be honest. There we go. Where should I include this? Should I have it separated as a box? I think I'll have it separated. I'll try to find some creative ways to edit some of the stuff in here. Because this might be the last Rocket Ragnarok video that I do. So I want to experiment a little bit more with the video editing. I think it'd be a bit harder with this one. I don't think this one will have as much action, but we'll see. Seems like it's like one of these hits big strong and then hit big strong back and then back and forth until someone dies. Whoops. How did that happen? There we go, and boom. Jesus Christ, is every panel going to be like this? How much is left? Jesus, there's so much left. I think I'm still in the first few chapters. What's the rest look like? This is better. Another annoying one, but... But I have to finish in 3 minutes. I'll end the stream now. This is a productive day. Edited what? I don't know how many panels that is. Edit 26 panels. That's not bad. For the hour and a bit. I always edit slower when I'm streaming, so it probably would have been 60 panels if I wasn't streaming, but it is what it is. I'll end the stream now. I gotta do some cleaning in my house, so I'll try to stream sometime next weekend. We'll see how I feel about it. I might be busy next weekend, but yeah, I'll see what happens. Once again, appreciate the amount of people that came in to the stream. So many familiar faces that showed up. It was a really fun stream today. Love. Peace.